People argue about whether austerity is good economics. But what does it mean? For 2 weeks in June, the TUC took a bus round England. Our mission? To find out what austerity means for ordinary people. Those that Britain's media too often ignore. We went to every region and discovered the shocking reality of life in Britain today. We heard that life is tough for young people, desperate to get a good start in life.
I feel really let down by the government, really let down by the system.
The government is saying, get a job, we want you to work, but not providing the incentive for companies to hire full-time staff.
I've had to sign up to job seekers. I've never had to before, and it wasn't a nice sort of experience.
We're told, young people don't want to work, young people are lazy, but I want to work.
And as we travelled around, we witnessed the hardship faced by an increasing number of families, those that are unemployed and in work.
Lives have been changed beyond recognition. People have lost careers and hope.
I'm looking now for a job. I can't find one. Can't find one anywhere, even the most basic of jobs.
There isn't the jobs around now. I mean, the young children struggle these days. So, I mean, with my age as well, I'm not going to find really nothing.
The prospect of getting a job here is going down and down and down, and it's getting quite difficult.
Yeah, the jobs are there, but they are not this type of jobs where you can really, it's just part-time job. They can call you today to work for maybe 2 hours, then tomorrow they won't call you.
We haven't had a pay rise in 2 to 3 years, so after stoppages and a little bit of a pension I pay, I pick up £210 a week, which is nothing when you think about it, that my rent's 70 some odd pound a week, your rent, your rates, your gas and your electric. By the time you've took that out, your running cost of your vehicles and that, you've got nothing left to spend.
We rely on tax credits, unfortunately, like a lot of other people. One wage just does not get us through a month.
They need to address the minimum wage because it really doesn't help families get out of the in-work poverty that some of them are in, even though they may be working 40, 45 hours a week.
The government say we're all in this together. Tell that to the people who've been hit hard by benefit changes.
Even the Chancellor of the Exchequer couldn't juggle the figures around like that, like some of the people have got to do nowadays.
People are very confused about the changes and the timescales for the changes, and some people think this is it, but we haven't even seen the start of universal credit yet, and that's a massive change. So certainly there are more changes on the way, and we're struggling to cope with the demand for the service now.
The sanctions regime that's on at the moment, I've seen so many people being sanctioned for ridiculous things. A quick example, a guy I know, he's a technophobe, he doesn't have any IT skills at all. Told the job centre said, OK, we'll put you on a course. He thought, great, excellent. Then the next time he goes to sign on, he gets sanctioned for not looking online for jobs when they haven't taught him to do it yet. So he got a 4-week sanction and no benefit.
A lot of the people coming through our doors are because they've been turned down for incapacity benefit. They've been told they're now fit for work, so need help in appealing those decisions.
People with a disability nowadays are constantly having to justify their own existence. There's always some official looking to ask, are you sure? Is that right? Are you sure you need that kind of help? And all the government austerity is doing is making them feel guilty for being alive.
Well, the whole basis for welfare reform was to save money as part of the austerity and cutbacks. And we're questioning just how much saving is there in this, because we see our costs are going up, local authorities' costs are going up, the costs of homelessness, the cost of evicting people from homes, the costs of taking children into care even. All these interventions we think could be directly linked to cuts in welfare because people can't cope anymore. And we don't think that anyone's done the calculations on it. And we've made that point to the National Audit Office, that there does need to be some more research about the full extent of these cuts and just what is the true cost.
And many of those already hurting have been dealt the cruel blow of the bedroom tax.
I lived here for 10 years. I like where I am, but suddenly I've had to pay the bedroom tax. Now I've asked to give up the property and go into a 1-bedroom property. Quite happy to do that. they haven't got any properties.
They should have started building those 1 and 2 bedroom properties before they started talking about introducing a tax like this.
There's no way we can afford it, but there's no way we're going to move out. It's our home, you know, they're breaking homes, they're breaking hearts.
In order to pay the bedroom tax, I've had to sell everything we've got, really, everything we can spare.
I've got to pay it because I'm afraid of being evicted. And if I'm evicted, I don't have any children, don't have anybody else dependent, so who's going to take care of me? I'm afraid for sometimes my life, if I'm on my own at night, it's very depressing. Very depressing to look at 4 walls because you can't go out because you can't afford to go out.
And vital services are suffering fatal cuts.
Sadly, due to local government funding cuts, this nursery now stands empty. We would have had provision for up to about 64 children in this facility.
I'm frightened that if these cuts take place, Bolton Hospital will eventually shut completely.
I care for my husband, who has got Alzheimer's. The cutbacks with the health service, the diagnosis has taken 3 months to come through. And in the meantime, he has got worse. And I am stressed out because I haven't got the specialist help what to do and how to care for him.
So what does this all add up to? If customers have no money, local businesses suffer.
People haven't got money in their pockets to spend in the town anymore.
From 2009 to now, our business is going straight down and down.
The shops are closing down from time to time, and then new ones comes up, and after a few months they close down again.
We've seen some significant names leave the high street. The problem is that in the past, as big names have gone, others have come in. At present, we're not seeing any interest.
If you just look around Dudley, every other shop is either a pawnbroker, a money shop or a betting shop. There's just no real diversity in the town anymore. It's dead.
And people can't make ends meet.
We're here in a suburb of Sunderland, and you can see if you look around that it's quite typical of what's happening in the rest of the North East. Just over there we've got a cheque centre, which is a money lending shop. We've got a couple of betting shops. There's a pawnbrokers down that way. So unfortunately that's the way that a lot of high streets are going, and that's meant that access to quick cash at very high interest rates has become a lot easier for people.
Payday loans are sometimes the only choice you've got, and it's not a payday loan for your holiday in Bahamas we're talking about. We're talking about a payday loan to get you shopping for next week.
Taking out 5 payday loans from just down the high street, estimating about £1,000 to pay back for, I think. At the moment I haven't paid anything back because I can't afford it, but they all know that, and I'm just trying to sort it all out.
Some people are having to learn to live on a lot less, and unfortunately some of them are taking out loans, and we're very worried about the impact that's going to have. Some of it is payday lending, but we're also very worried that it's going into illegal money lending and loan sharks.
And increasingly, people are going hungry because they can't afford to eat.
That's to open up food bank because people would not eat without us. And if that's Cameron's idea of the big society, because that's the only sign we've seen of it round here, we don't want to partake in it. He's just made us partake in it.
People started coming to me saying, can you give this food to somebody who needs it more than I do? And sometimes that was from elderly people who themselves were fairly close to the margins. We also heard stories of people taking food from rubbish bins. We're also aware of children who go into the food bins at the back of supermarkets and take food.
At the moment, the predominant reason for people being referred to food bank is benefit delays. Food is donated by the general public. It comes to a warehouse like this, and from here it is sorted, dated, and then sent out to 12 distribution centres across the Cannock Place, where people come along with a voucher and can redeem that voucher for 3 days worth of food for them and their family.
We have to go without to make sure the kids are got, but we are using Food Bank at Ilkeston. Without them we'd be lost.
I don't believe that food banks are the answer. I just think we're a short-term response to a crisis.
When you've got 6 children that are hungry, what do? You can't make them starve. I mean, I didn't actually know about this till like 2 weeks ago. And prior to that, I was having to go capping them to friends. and neighbours for like to put a meal on the table.
Austerity is hurting our economy. Our services, our communities, our future.
My message to this government is come and live like the people you're demonising for 1 month and see how difficult it is.
We have no future in this country anymore. No matter what we do, we can't get out of this. We need more. We need help from the government. We need support. We need our lives back.
There is an alternative.
The government should really just wake up.
We need to invest on job creation.
I want politicians to sort out the welfare system, to do away with the need for food banks and to actually create something that we can all be proud of once again.
I believe there can be a change.
Unions say we need policies to boost growth, create jobs, build affordable housing and raise living standards. We need a recovery that works for ordinary people. We need a future that works.